Hi everyone, welcome back to Daily English Podcast. I'm Mike, and I am so happy you're here with me today. In today's episode, I'm going to teach you 70 essential English sentences that you can use in real, everyday conversations. At home, at work, at the shop, on the street, everywhere. We're going to go through them in different situations: greetings, shopping, eating out, the workplace, making plans, and even emergencies. For each sentence, I will tell you what it means, and I'll give you a real-life situation where you can actually use it. I'll even share some of my own personal stories so you can see exactly how these sentences work. So, grab a notebook, get comfortable, and let's get started. All right. Let's start with social openers and everyday greetings. These are the sentences you use when you meet people or reconnect with old friends. The first one is, "Small world, isn't it?" Small world, isn't it? The meaning is, it's surprising that we ran into each other in such an unexpected place. This is an English expression used when you see someone unexpectedly, especially somewhere far from where you would normally expect to see them. For example, last year I was on vacation in Italy, and I was walking through a tiny little street in Rome. And guess who I saw? My old college roommate. I hadn't seen him in 5 years. We were both so shocked. I said, "Small world, isn't it?" And we both started laughing. You might also say this if you bump into a former colleague at an airport abroad, or if you meet someone at a cafe who turns out to know your cousin. Life is full of these surprising moments. It often comes with a smile and a sense of shared coincidence. A moment where you both feel like the world just got a little smaller. Let's practice. Small world, isn't it? Repeat. Small world, isn't it? Perfect. Here's the next one. What have you been up to lately? What have you been up to lately? The meaning is, what's new in your life? It's a warmer and more personal version of "How are you?" and it invites the other person to share actual updates. It can lead to a deeper conversation. You would use this with someone you haven't seen in a few weeks or months, an old classmate, a coworker on another team, or a friend you lost touch with. I use this all the time. When I see my neighbor who I haven't talked to in a while, I say, "Hey, what have you been up to lately?" And then they tell me about their job, their family, their hobbies. Let's practice. What have you been up to lately? Repeat. What have you been up to lately? Excellent. Here's the next one. It's been ages. It's been ages. The meaning is, we haven't seen each other in a very long time. This one expresses both surprise and a little bit of guilt. You might say it with a laugh or even a hint of embarrassment, especially if you meant to reach out but you didn't. I say this to my high school friends sometimes. We all live in different cities now, and we don't see each other often. So when we finally meet, I say, "It's been ages. I've missed you." It works great when reconnecting with an old friend or someone from a previous job or class. It's casual, familiar, and full of friendly nostalgia. It's been ages. Repeat. It's been ages. Great. Here's the next one. You're looking well. You're looking well. This means you look healthy and happy. This is a safe and polite compliment that doesn't focus on someone's weight, clothes, or appearance in a shallow way. It's a little bit more mature than, "You look great." I like to use this with people I haven't seen in a long time. It's a kind way to acknowledge that they seem to be doing well in life. "You're looking well." Repeat. "You're looking well." Perfect. Next one. "How's everything on your end?" How's everything on your end? This means, how are things in your life or work these days? You'll often hear this in a professional or semi-formal conversation, especially in emails or virtual calls. It's ideal when you're trying to keep communication warm but respectful with a colleague, a mentor, or a client. I use this in work emails all the time. It's friendly but professional. "How's everything on your end?" Repeat. "How's everything on your end?" Wonderful. Here's the next one. "Can't complain, really." Can't complain, really. This means, I'm doing fine. Not amazing, but there's nothing bad to report. This is a humble, low-key way to say you're okay. It often implies that life is stable, even if a little boring. People say this to avoid sounding overly negative or overly positive. It's somewhere in the middle. Can't complain, really. Repeat. Can't complain, really. Great! Next. Same old, same old. Same old, same old. This means nothing new is happening. Things are as usual. This is said with a sigh or a smile. It gives a sense of routine. It's a very common way to say, my life hasn't changed much, usually in response to, what's new? I say this sometimes when my routine is very predictable. Wake up, work, eat, sleep, repeat. Same old, same old. Repeat. Same old, same old. Excellent! Here's another one. Been keeping busy? Been keeping busy? This means, have you been doing a lot lately? This is a polite question when you're not sure what the other person has been doing. It's casual and non-invasive. It's good for coworkers, neighbors, and acquaintances. It acknowledges their time without pressing for too many details. Been keeping busy? Repeat. Been keeping busy? Perfect. Next one. Nice catching up. Nice catching up. This means, it was great talking to you and reconnecting. You say this as a closing remark after a short reunion or conversation. Maybe after coffee with a friend you haven't seen in a while, or a quick chat at the supermarket. It's warm, appreciative, and signals that you enjoyed the interaction. Nice catching up. Repeat. Nice catching up. Beautiful. And the final one for this section, drop me a message sometime. Drop me a message sometime. This means, feel free to text or call me. I'd like to hear from you. This is casual and leaves the ball in the other person's court. It's friendly, but not pushy. Great after a short reunion where you want to stay in touch, but you're not sure if you'll make plans soon. Drop me a message sometime. Repeat. Drop me a message sometime. Wonderful! That's the end of Section 1. Shopping and Services, 5:30 to 10. Okay, now let's move on to shopping and services. These are sentences you'll use when you're buying things or asking for help in stores. The first one is, could you tell me more about this one? Could you tell me more about this one? This means, can you give me more details about this item? This is a polite and curious way to engage a salesperson. Imagine you're in a tech store looking at two different headphones. Instead of just saying, "What is this?" you can say, Could you tell me more about this one? It makes you sound thoughtful and open to discussion. Could you tell me more about this one? Repeat. Could you tell me more about this one? Great. Next, is there a warranty included? Is there a warranty included? This means, does this come with a guarantee in case it breaks? It's essential when buying electronics, home appliances, or anything expensive. You're making sure the seller takes responsibility if something goes wrong. I always ask this when I buy electronics. Last month, I bought a new laptop, and the first thing I said was, "Is there a warranty included?" And yes, there was. 1-year warranty. Is there a warranty included? Repeat. Is there a warranty included? Perfect. Here's the next one. Do you offer any discounts? Do you offer any discounts? This means, can I get this for a lower price? This is a tactful way to bring up money without sounding cheap. Sometimes stores have sales or student discounts or seasonal promotions. If you don't ask, you'll never know. Do you offer any discounts? Repeat. Do you offer any discounts? Excellent. Next one. Can I try this on? Can I try this on? This means, may I wear this to see if it fits? Very useful when shopping for clothes, shoes, or accessories. You would say it before heading to a fitting room. Can I try this on? Repeat. Can I try this on? Great! Here's another useful one. That's a bit outside my budget. That's a bit outside my budget. This means that's more than I can afford. This is a softer way to say too expensive. It gives the seller a chance to offer alternatives or a better price. I've used this many times. It's a polite way to say no without being rude. That's a bit outside my budget. Repeat. That's a bit outside my budget. Perfect. Next, let me think about it. Let me think about it. This means I'm not ready to decide right now. This phrase buys you time. You're saying no for now without shutting the door. It's a polite way to exit when you feel pressured. Let me think about it. Repeat. Let me think about it. Excellent. Here's another one. I'll come back for it later. I'll come back for it later. This means I might return to buy this. You may or may not actually return, and that's okay. This phrase lets you walk away without awkwardness. It's great when you're browsing or unsure. I'll come back for it later. Repeat. I'll come back for it later. Great! Next one. Do you have this in a different color? Do you have this in a different color? This means, is this available in other colors? You use this if you like the item but not the color or design. It's common in clothing, shoes, or even electronics. Often, shops have more options in stock or online. Do you have this in a different color? Repeat. Do you have this in a different color? Perfect! Here's another important one. Can I return this if it doesn't fit? Can I return this if it doesn't fit? This means, is it possible to bring this back if it's not right? Always ask this before buying clothes or shoes, especially if you're unsure. Return policies vary. Some shops accept returns easily, others don't. It's a responsible question, and sellers usually respect it. Can I return this if it doesn't fit? Repeat. Can I return this if it doesn't fit? Wonderful! And the final one for this section. I think I'll leave it. Thanks. I think I'll leave it. Thanks. This means I've decided not to buy it. This is a graceful way to say no. It's short, polite, and makes sure no one feels awkward, whether you're in a market, a boutique, or a high-end store. I think I'll leave it. Thanks. Repeat. I think I'll leave it. Thanks. Excellent! That's the end of Section 2. Now, let's move on to Part 3, Cafes and Restaurants. This is one of my favorite sections because I love food. Here's the first one. Could we get a table by the window if possible? Could we get a table by the window if possible? This means, can we sit near the window? This is a polite way to request a specific seat. I always ask for a window seat because I love watching people walk by outside. Could we get a table by the window if possible? Repeat. Could we get a table by the window if possible? Great! Next, I'll have the grilled salmon, please. I'll have the grilled salmon, please. This means I would like to order the grilled salmon. This is the standard and natural way to order food. You can swap in anything. I'll have the pasta, or I'll have the cappuccino. It's used in both casual and more formal dining settings. I'll have the grilled salmon, please. Repeat. I'll have the grilled salmon, please. Perfect! Here's the next one. Would you mind giving us a few more minutes? Would you mind giving us a few more minutes? This means, can you come back later for our order? This is a gentle way to say, we're not ready to order yet. It's great when you need more time to decide. Sometimes the menu is so big and everything looks delicious, you need extra time. Would you mind giving us a few more minutes? Repeat. Would you mind giving us a few more minutes? Excellent! Next one. Could we get this to go? Could we get this to go? This means, can we take this food with us? It's perfect when you've eaten part of a meal and want to take the rest home. I do this all the time because restaurant portions are usually huge. Could we get this to go? Repeat. Could we get this to go? Great! Here's an important one. Excuse me, I think this isn't what I ordered. Excuse me, I think this isn't what I ordered. This means there's a mistake with my order. You use this calmly and respectfully when your food arrives and it's not what you asked for. This happened to me last week. I ordered a vegetarian pizza, but they brought me one with meat on it. I said, "Excuse me, I think this isn't what I ordered. I asked for the vegetarian one." And they fixed it right away. No problem at all. Excuse me, I think this isn't what I ordered. Repeat. Excuse me, I think this isn't what I ordered. Perfect. Next. Is service included? Is service included? This means, does the bill include the tip? This is a smart question when traveling, especially in Europe. Some restaurants automatically include a service charge, while others don't. You don't want to tip twice or skip it accidentally. Is service included? Repeat. Is service included? Excellent. Here's another one. Could I see the wine list, please? Could I see the wine list, please? This means, can I have the menu for wines? This is a classy request when you're dining somewhere nice. Could I see the wine list, please? Repeat. Could I see the wine list, please? Great! This next one is very important. I have a food allergy. Does this contain nuts? I have a food allergy. Does this contain nuts? This means I'm allergic. Are there any nuts in this? This sentence is critical if you have allergies or dietary restrictions. Restaurants need to take this seriously, and they will. You can substitute with gluten, dairy, or shellfish. I have a food allergy. Does this contain nuts? Repeat. I have a food allergy. Does this contain nuts? Perfect! Here's a lovely one. Everything was fantastic. Thank you. Everything was fantastic. Thank you. This means I really enjoyed the food and experience. A lovely way to express gratitude to the staff or chef, especially after a good meal. I always say this when I have a great dining experience. Everything was fantastic. Thank you. Repeat. Everything was fantastic. Thank you. Beautiful. And the last one for this section. Can we get separate checks? Can we get separate checks? This means, can we pay individually? This is very common when eating out with friends or coworkers. Everyone pays for their own meal. Can we get separate checks? Repeat. Can we get separate checks? Wonderful! That's the end of the restaurant section. Okay, now we move on to sentences related to workplace and professional settings. These are super useful if you work in an English-speaking environment. The first one is, let's touch base later this week. Let's touch base later this week. This means, let's have a quick chat or follow up soon. This is a classic office phrase, especially in English-speaking business cultures. It's informal but professional. I use this all the time in work emails. It means we'll reconnect soon to check on progress. Let's touch base later this week. Repeat. Let's touch base later this week. Great! Next, could you clarify what you meant by that? Could you clarify what you meant by that? This means, can you explain that idea more clearly? This sentence helps you stay engaged in meetings or emails without sounding confrontational. It shows you're listening and want to fully understand. Could you clarify what you meant by that? Repeat. Could you clarify what you meant by that? Perfect. Here's another useful one. Just to double check, we're meeting at 2, right? Just to double check, we're meeting at 2, right? This means, I want to confirm the time of our meeting. This is very common in business communication. You're making sure everyone is on the same page. Just to double check, we're meeting at 2, right? Repeat. Just to double check, we're meeting at 2, right? We're meeting at 2, right? Excellent. Next one. I'm afraid I won't be able to make it. I'm afraid I won't be able to make it. This means I can't attend. This phrase is formal but kind. You're expressing regret, not just absence. It's much better than just saying, I can't come. I'm afraid I won't be able to make it. Repeat. I'm afraid I won't be able to make it. Great. Here's another. Would it be possible to reschedule? Would it be possible to reschedule? This means, can we change the time? This is a respectful way to suggest moving a meeting or appointment. Would it be possible to reschedule? Repeat. Would it be possible to reschedule? Perfect. Next, let me loop you in on this email. Let me loop you in on this email. This means I'm adding you to the email thread so you're informed. This is used when you want someone to be aware of ongoing communication. Let me loop you in on this email. Repeat. Let me loop you in on this email. Excellent. This one is useful in meetings. That's a great point. I hadn't thought of it that way. That's a great point. I hadn't thought of it that way. This means, I agree and your perspective is new to me. Saying this shows humility and open-mindedness. You're validating someone else's contribution and inviting further discussion. That's a great point. I hadn't thought of it that way. Repeat. That's a great point. I hadn't thought of it that way. Beautiful. Here's another. Let's table that for now. Let's table that for now. This means, let's pause this topic and maybe return to it later. It's a professional way to move a discussion forward without completely dismissing an idea. Let's table that for now. Repeat. Let's table that for now. Great. Next. I'm happy to take the lead on this. I'm happy to take the lead on this. This means, I'll be responsible for this project or task. Saying this shows initiative and confidence. It positions you as proactive and reliable. I'm happy to take the lead on this. Repeat. I'm happy to take the lead on this. Perfect. And the final one for this section, let me get back to you on that. Let me get back to you on that. This means, I don't know right now, but I will find out and tell you. This is much better than guessing or giving a wrong answer. It keeps the conversation moving while buying time. It's commonly used when you need to check details with someone else or gather more information. Let me get back to you on that. Repeat. Let me get back to you on that. Wonderful. That's the end of the workplace section. Okay, final section. Making plans and social arrangements. These sentences will help you organize your social life. The first one is, are you free this weekend? Are you free this weekend? This means, do you have any plans this weekend? This is an easy and friendly way to start making plans. It gives them room to say yes, no, or suggest another time. Are you free this weekend? Repeat. Are you free this weekend? Great. Next. Do you want to grab a coffee sometime? Do you want to grab a coffee sometime? This means, would you like to meet casually for coffee? This is very common in English-speaking cultures. It's casual, low pressure, and friendly. Do you want to grab a coffee sometime? Repeat. Do you want to grab a coffee sometime? Perfect. Here's another. Let me check my calendar. Let me check my calendar. This means, I'll see if I'm available before confirming. You use this when you're not ready to commit yet. Maybe you're unsure about your schedule or want to avoid overbooking. Let me check my calendar. Repeat. Let me check my calendar. Excellent. Next one. I might have to take a rain check. I might have to take a rain check. This means I'll have to cancel, but maybe another time. This is a gentle way to say no. It's often used when you like the idea of the plan but can't make it work this time. I might have to take a rain check. Repeat. I might have to take a rain check. Great! Here's another useful one. Let's play it by ear. Let's play it by ear. This means let's decide later depending on how things go. It's perfect when you're not sure about the details yet. Let's play it by ear. Repeat. Let's play it by ear. Perfect. Next. Sounds good to me. Sounds good to me. This means I agree with that plan. This is how you show enthusiasm without overthinking. Sounds good to me. Repeat. Sounds good to me. Excellent. Here's another. I'm not really feeling up to it today. I'm not really feeling up to it today. This means I don't have the energy or mood to go out. This is a very honest and respectful way to cancel or decline. It's softer than I'm tired or I can't be bothered. People use this when they need rest, emotionally or physically. Friends will usually understand. I'm not really feeling up to it today. Repeat. I'm not really feeling up to it today. Great. Next. Could we push it back a bit? Could we push it back a bit? This means, can we reschedule it for later? We use this when something unexpected comes up. It's polite and non-demanding. You're not canceling, you're just asking for a later time. Could we push it back a bit? Repeat. Could we push it back a bit? Perfect. And the final one. Let's pencil it in. Let's pencil it in. This means, let's tentatively plan for that, but it's not final. You use it when you want to plan something but might need to confirm later. Let's pencil it in. Repeat. Let's pencil it in. Wonderful. Wow, and that brings us to the end of today's lesson. We just covered 70 real, natural English sentences that will help you sound polite, confident, and connected in all kinds of situations. From social greetings to shopping, from restaurants to the workplace, from making plans to everyday conversations, you now have so many useful phrases to practice. Remember, learning English is not just about grammar and vocabulary. It's about knowing what to say in real-life situations. It's about sounding natural and confident. So please, practice these sentences. Say them out loud. Use them in your daily life. The more you practice, the more natural they will become. Now, here's my question for you. Which sentence are you going to use first? Write it in the comments below. I want to know which one you found most useful. And if you have a favorite sentence from this video, tell me about it. Share your story. If you enjoyed this lesson, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to Daily English Podcast for more practical, real-world English lessons. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. You're doing an amazing job learning English, and I'm so proud of you. Keep practicing, keep speaking, and remember, every sentence you learn brings you one step closer to fluency. Thanks for listening to Daily English Podcast. Practice these, speak often, and stay curious. See you in the next episode. Goodbye, my friends.